So the first dessert we're making are these chocolate chunk pumpkin blondies. Of course, I'm starting off with pumpkin, and I just buy pumpkin puree. It's in a BPA free can. It's usually near the applesauce. I got a lot of questions about this in my last video where I used pumpkin puree, and it's literally just pumpkin. And to that, I'm adding in some nut butter. So you could do almond butter, peanut butter. You could even do a sunflower seed butter. Though if you do peanut butter, it won't be paleo. But if you're not paleo, then you can definitely use that too. That'll work. Then I'm adding in some coconut sugar, and I'm going to mix that together until it's nice and smooth. And the great thing about pumpkin is that it's actually full of carotenoids, very good for your health, vitamin A, which is going to support not only your eyes, but your immune system, and it's loaded with fiber. And as I've said a lot of times before on my channel, fiber is really great for gut health, and your gut health is connected to so many things. Your gut health is connected to your immune system, your mental health, so many things. So it's really important to keep that strong. For our dry ingredients, I'm using a blend of flours. I find that works the best when paleo cooking. So I'm using coconut flour, almond flour, and arrowroot flour. And all of these add great healthy fats. They add fiber, omega-3s. We're going to add some baking powder for helping it rise, along with a hefty amount of pumpkin spice. You can measure the pumpkin spice if you want, or you can just put in a bunch of it. If you don't have pumpkin spice, cinnamon also works really well here. And then I'm just whisking that together until it's combined. We're going to add in our wet ingredients into our dry and fold this together. And I really like this recipe because not only is it paleo and refined sugar free, but I also managed to make it vegan for you guys. I know in a lot of my recipes I use eggs and that you can substitute flax eggs, but this one uses neither one, so it's really simple. It's delicious. Everyone will love it if you want to make it for like a Thanksgiving. Your friends and family will not even know that it's made for good for you ingredients. They're just going to love it. So super tasty. Once everything is mixed together, I'm adding in some chocolate chunks. I just chopped up a chocolate bar that had almonds in it, but you can use chocolate chips or your favorite paleo or dairy-free chocolate. I really like the Lily's brand or Zazu Bean. Those are two of my top favorites that I'll go to and buy. Or for the chips, the Enjoy Life chips. So if you need some recommendations, those are some great ones. I'm putting that into a baking pan that I lined with parchment paper. This just really helps to get everything out easier. If you're not doing this, I would suggest spraying it completely because you don't want everything to stick. And then I kind of just press it down until it gets into all the corners. I did save a few of the chunks just to put on top for more like decor and because it looks aesthetically pleasing to put a couple on the top, but this is totally optional. Just go ahead and get that ready for the oven, and then we're going to be baking that off at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. So then once it's done, you can pop it out of its tray and just slice it up. I sliced mine into 9. You can definitely slice it into smaller bites if you want to, but when I'm having a blondie, I like to, have a blondie. And this tastes really good with coffee, with an afternoon tea, and they're freezer friendly. So if you're eating them within the next about 24 to 48 hours, you can keep them outside the fridge. Otherwise, I would freeze them. I wouldn't recommend the fridge because fridge dries out baked goods. And because I know you guys like seeing the texture, I wanted to show you guys the texture of them so you can see just how delicious and moist and yummy they are. Definitely a good go-to recipe. Next up, we are making these vanilla spice clusters, which is a good little sweet treat. So I'm using a blend of cashews, sunflower seeds, and then some pumpkin seeds. And all of these are really rich in vitamins and minerals. They all have got lots of things that are going to help support your immune system like zinc and manganese. I'm adding in some vanilla for flavor as well as some apple pie spice, but you can definitely just do cinnamon or do a blend of cinnamon and ginger, or even if you wanted, we can do pumpkin spice and then we'd have another pumpkin kind of dessert. So just do that and then just stir everything together with a little bit of maple syrup. And then I'm spooning out the clusters onto a silicone mat. I really like using a silicone mat for baking. If you don't have parchment paper, this is also really good. Or if you just want to cut down on waste, I like to use a silicone mat a lot too. And they peel really easily off. So even though they are loose right now, once we bake them with the maple syrup and then let them cool, you're going to see that they get hardened into clusters. And you can definitely switch up the nuts and seeds to whatever you want. You could do a blend of pecans and almonds. You could do walnuts. Really, whatever you like, just mix it up. based on the measurements down below. And then once you bake them off for about 15 minutes, they get into these nice golden clusters, a little bit of sweetness, but we got healthy fats, protein, and they're just a really good go-to. They're also really good in yogurt. This is definitely a great little quick thing you can make, or it also makes a great hostess gift. I've brought these to like family things and they put them on the dessert tray. It's really good. And then we are making pumpkin cups. So I'm using, again, some nut butter. You can use any kind of nut or seed butter, or you could use coconut butter here too. To that, I'm adding in some fresh pureed pumpkin and also some pumpkin spice, just to give it that really extra pumpkin spice flavor to it. And again, you don't have to be absolutely precise with the pumpkin spice. You can just add a bunch of it in. And then for a little bit of sweetness, I'm adding in about a scant tablespoon of maple syrup. And then you just have to mix that all together until it's nice and smooth. And this is what's going to make the filling of our pumpkin cups. These are really festive, and this is a great like little after dinner treat when you want a little something sweet. And that's something that you can keep in the freezer as well. So then I'm just taking some Paleo chocolate. You can melt down and buy some, or I'll leave my homemade recipe down below if you can't find Paleo chocolate near you. It's just a mixture of a little bit of maple syrup, some coconut oil, and some raw cacao. So I'm spooning a tablespoon into the bottom of each of my silicone molds, and I just got mine at IKEA, but you can get some on Amazon. They're super inexpensive, and I use them time and time again. I'm putting a big heaping tablespoon of our mixture into the center of it. And then we're going to continue this with all of our cups. So this made 6 cups for me. And these are pretty like large, hefty cups. You can definitely make them smaller. Or if you have mini molds, you can definitely make a mini mold one of this too. And then I'm just scooping more of the Paleo chocolate on top, basically until we cover our mixture in the center. And this is definitely like a twist on the classic almond butter or peanut butter cup, just with a little bit of fall flair to it. And it's subtle, but still tastes super delicious and makes a really great, healthy fall dessert. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you make them, don't forget to tag me so I can share them. They're all super delicious, and I know right after this I'm gonna have another one of those blondies because they're so good. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.